What's happening? It's Nocturnal. Yo, salute to the real, death to the fake. I only made it through half of this interview, and I had to stop it, drop this joint, and then I get back to it. Sean Porter on Sway. Oh man. Where do I begin? Man, crazy. First off, the introduction. Sean Porter wasn't happy with the introduction. He's like, man, why didn't y'all play the clip from when I won the belt? He said, y'all clean that up. So obviously there was another version of the introductory that he really didn't like. He said, y'all clean that up. And then he goes on to say, why y'all didn't play the introduction? Why y'all didn't do the introduction with me winning the belt, man? He said this one was when it was cold outside. He said this one is where the judges must have went to get some hot cocoa or cappuccino or something, and they missed a couple of rounds. You know, insinuating that the scorecards were off. The judges saw what everybody saw. You know what I'm saying? What everybody agrees with. Matter of fact, a lot of people see it where you got gifted that fight, that victory. So already to me, it sounds like you don't even like the way that fight played out. So many things I want to talk about. I'm gonna try to chop this up real quick. They go into him sparring with Errol Spence back in the day. You know, back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. He say, they play a little clip, right? And shouts out to the real Marlon. This was the first time I saw it before I went and watched the whole thing. But shouts out to real Marlon. Salute to Nocturnal. So they play the clip, and it's obvious. The whole, you know what? This is something that irritates me, because as soon as I try to not like, but just give due respect to Sean Porter, he starts to do things or say things that make me say, you know what? I'm gonna just hold tight on my opinion, and then we'll see. You know what I'm saying? So they play the clip, and he says, you know, you watch it for yourself. They go back and forth. What Errol Spence says just makes more logical sense. He said, I really don't remember the sparring, because I only remember sparring when it's a tough spar or when I get bested. So obviously I beat him up, and it wasn't much to remember. And then you hear Sean Porter on the other hand saying, oh yeah, when I met this kid, I could tell back then he was going to be great. It reminded me of back in the day listening to the old greats give credit to Michael Jordan when he first came in. Like, we knew he was going to be Michael Jordan. He was doing things that nobody else could do. That's what it reminded me of, hearing Sean Porter talk about Errol Spence. And then when they go to live, Errol Spence or Sean Porter is like, I really don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, you don't know who's talking about. It sounds like you don't know who you were talking about, because these was the words that was coming out of your own mouth. You were saying that you thought he was great. Then you turn around and say, I don't remember what he's talking about. I don't remember the sparring. I remember us coming to have the pros help the amateurs. And then he says, Sean Porter probably wasn't on Errol Spence's mind. I don't even think I was a champion back then. It's like, so how you going to say they brought the pros to help the amateurs, but you wasn't even a champion? You see, things like this. You see what I'm saying? I don't dig it, man. So they continue because, Sway said, okay, let's get past that. And you had this boy on the phone, Big Horse. Big Horse is going to have to change his name to Donkey of the Day or Big Jackass when this is all said and done. He was saying some ridiculous things like Shawn Porter's going to knock him out in the eighth round. The only thing Errol Spence knows how to do is fight off the jab. He can't defend himself against the brutality. I'm paraphrasing, of course. He can't defend himself against somebody as rough and rugged as Shawn Porter that knows how to brawl. I can't believe they co-signed that. Oh man, it tripped me out because he said it was so much conviction, and then before you didn't hear Shawn Porter talking like that, but then after he got gassed up, all of a sudden Shawn Porter wanted to exclamate on that and say, "This is what I do. This is what I do." Now check this out. This is the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna get out y'all way. I don't try to judge people, but when I see something, I just got to see something for what it is. This is a grown man, and he says, before he came to Sway, he called his dad to find out what was he going to wear. Who does that? What grown man? I mean, I understand. Look, man, this ain't high school. You a grown man, and you calling your dad to ask him what is he gonna wear on a radio interview on Sway? Dad, what you wearing? I mean, come on. Either females do this when they're young. Me and my bro would do this way when we was back in high school. Yo, man, what you wearing to this thing? What you wearing to that thing? But as a grown man, you calling and you asking your dad, what is he gonna wear to Sway? And then you say he went ahead and had his tailor bring his little, black and gray pinstripe little suit with the, I don't want to go into sartorial conversation because that has nothing to do with boxing. And you got to digress with those little customized suits. If they fit your personality, man, cool. But ain't nobody rocking them. That's what you doing. It's all this is too much, man. That ain't slick. You know what I'm saying? It ain't sharp. Now I know you got the means to do better than that, but I can see the mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people say, and what I say, money doesn't buy taste. Money cannot buy you class. Money, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have a certain swag and a certain style, it don't matter how much money you got. You're gonna always be able to see flaw in your different decisions that you make. You know what I'm saying? Like money not gonna buy you the mentality where you know how to dress to impress. You know what I'm saying? So with all this money and with these nice suits, you still come off corny. No disrespect. It's just me being honest. Your Sunday's best still comes off corny. I can't even remember who told me this. Man, I forget your name and I apologize. But shouts out from, you know who you are. Shouts out from Nocturnal. You said the man was Stone Cold Bama. And I was like, man, that's the first time I ever heard of that phrase, man. But anyways, this is Nocturnal Thoughts. I'm gonna get back to watching the rest of this interview and see how ridiculous this man sound. Every time he turn around, he just contradicting himself and saying things that completely negate what he just said or nullify what he just said or contradicts what he just said in one way, shape, form, or fashion. He's saying things that don't make sense to the facts. Nocturnal Thoughts. Salutes, I'm out. And oh yeah, Kenny Porter's God plan story. Come on, man. God told you he can't touch you, and I waited till the ring walk out. to tell him, God told me he can't touch you. It wasn't, come on, man. Nobody's buying that. You know what I'm saying? This sounds nice. You know what I'm saying? All praise and respect to the Most High. But God told you that the man can't touch him. Look. He got touched. Okay? The man, he got touched. And then to go on to say, win, lose, or draw, I was happy. No, you thought it was a loss. You thought it was a draw. Come on, man. Come on. See, that's what I'm talking about. We don't believe you. You need more people. Nocturnal Thoughts. I'm out for real this time. Salute to the real. Death to the fake. Peace.